Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 5 of hybrid zoology. This week, we're going to be continuing pushing into our evolution unit. This week, our focus is going to be how natural selection leads to new species, and then we will transition into phylogeny and taxonomy. Just some announcements and reminders. Please make sure that as you are watching Edpuzzle videos that you take notes. The expectation is that you are taking notes, that way you can have them as a quick reference to study. And you can access the notes through this evolution unit folder if you need to. Progress reports go out this Friday. Most of you are in pretty good shape, but be checking iPass. I am going to be updating it over the next few days. Our first quiz is going to take place on Wednesday, the 21st, so that is a week from today. There's a study guide here for you. It's going to be just on evolution, everything that we have done on evolution up until today. So I will click on that to show you what the study guide looks like. So here is your study guide. At the top of the page, there is a list of vocabulary that you have to know. Cells, all the different types of reproduction, all of those are fair game for your quiz. Some of the key concepts you have to know is that evolution is strongest, and you need to be familiar with the different types of evidence for evolution. You have to know how natural selection works, and some of the main mechanisms for speciation. You have to be able to use evidence to support claims about the relatedness of two different species. Selection, so if you remember VIDA, variation, inheritance, differential survival, to apply those to examples. Compare and contrast allopatric and sympatric speciation, which you're going to learn about today, and then distinguish between the different types of reproductive. Our objectives for the week are you're going to be able to compare and contrast sympatric and allopatric speciation, and then compare and contrast different reproductive isolation types, such as geographic, behavioral, and temporal isolation, and how each will lead to the formation of new species. And then finally, students will use and create phylogenetic tree relationships among animals. Today, you are going to fill out the attendance tracker as usual. There are 2 short Edpuzzle videos on speciation. One is from the notes, and the other gets into the different types of reproductive isolation. It's an Amoeba Sisters video, but there are 2 Edpuzzle videos for you to watch. Both of them combined make up 15 minutes. And then you need to complete the speciation modes activity. So you're going to be looking at some examples and describe how those 2 species formed, and then identify it as temporal isolation, geographic isolation, habitat isolation, etc. While you are remote, there is a short video about the Linnaean system of classification, and then there's an activity that you'll be looking at the taxonomy of different big cats, namely tigers, and you are going to be looking at those different tigers and identifying which is most likely to become its own species, and we'll be explaining why. When we are in class, we're going to talk about phylogenetic trees, and you will be making a cladogram. And then I will be posting these links as we get closer, but there will be 2 Zoom meetings next week on Wednesday the 21st in the morning. There will be a Zoom meeting to review for the quiz, and then a second meeting will take place from 11 to 12 p.m. to actually take the quiz. If you cannot make it during this time, 11 to 12 p.m., you have to let me know as soon as possible so I can make an alternative arrangement for you. Okay, but the expectation is that everyone is logged in from 11 to 12 to take the quiz. But if you know ahead of time that something is going on, that you are unable to make it, you need to let me know as soon as possible. So that's it for this week. If you have any questions, please send me an email.